Stark Seal in 1995, and let's talk about the terrible NFL officiating and how they fix it. What the NFL does is, for their views and for their ratings, certain teams get the benefit of the calls, such as when the Cleveland Browns play someone. Since they're 0-9, the NFL will tell the referees before the game, because they played Detroit this week, that call the game in favor of the Lions. And it's obvious because as I was watching the game, there were certain calls that were not called against the Lions. They would have been called against any other team, such as pass interference penalties, holdings, and they were calling those against the Browns, but they weren't calling them against the Lions. And it seemed like biased officiating. And that happened during the Steelers-Colts game when the Steelers, there was a fumble on the field and the referees blew the play dead, so the Steelers didn't get the fumble recovery. They called it dead, so the Steelers lose the recovery, and they basically lost points. And they did that to keep the game close, to keep it competitive, to draw more ratings. The NFL has been doing this for years. They do this to every single team. They did it against the Lions earlier this year when the Lions lost on I think it was week 2. They lost and they called, it was at the end of the game, they're driving down the field. And they called 10 seconds off the play clock, so the Lions don't even get a play and they lose the game. The NFL rigs it and are biased towards certain teams and teams that will draw higher ratings. Teams that don't have winning records will not get the benefit of the calls. So when fans are complaining, saying, why isn't my team getting this, why isn't my team getting that, look at your record and look at your team's record, and also look around the league at other teams and realize that the NFL is fixing certain games because the ratings have been plummeting, and they need to draw more people, they need to make more money, and their sponsors are getting mad because people aren't watching it. I mean, I guess the NFL, for one thing, what they need to do is they need to make the league itself more competitive. I've been seeing so many blowouts, especially on Thursday Night Football. I mean, they had the Miami Dolphins on 3 primetime games. The Miami Dolphins are not good. I mean, why are they on 3 primetime games? Maybe you should take them off primetime. Maybe that would help your ratings. And the NFL officials need to be reprimanded for making these bad calls because they're affecting points and they're affecting games and they're costing wins and losses. The NFL needs to fix its product because the officials have no idea what they're doing, especially if it's a catch, if it's not a catch rule, if it's a fumble, is it not a fumble, and I hate the worst penalty that's called is when someone fumbles the ball into the end zone and they call it and they give the other team the ball back and give them 20 yards and call it a touchback. That makes no sense, and that's happened several times this year. The NFL needs to focus on its officiating and focus on the biased officiating, and maybe that would draw more people into the NFL because fans are sick and tired of the terrible ass officiating. It has been garbage all year. It was garbage last year, and it will continue to be garbage until the referees are held responsible for their actions.